What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at Captain America number 3, Captain America Civil War. And this one is the first ever Captain America movie, which I did go to see in cinemas. It is also the first Captain America movie that I ever watched. Not gonna lie, I'd never seen the first two before this movie, so gonna be honest, I went into this very skeptically. I also went into this on Team Cap, because Team Iron Man wasn't looking so hot. Gonna be honest, I love Ant-Man. He was one of the main reasons that I fell in love with the MCU. I like Ant-Man. So Captain America's team looked a lot better than Iron Man's team because I don't like Iron Man. I don't like War Machine. Alright? Scarlet Witch is okay, and I've never heard of Black Panther before this movie, so I did not know anything about him going into this movie when I first watched this in cinemas. However, after taking a step back and, rewatching this movie recently, I kinda respect Team Iron Man a little bit more than I did in the past. Right, so, without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. Captain America Civil War is a 2016 action-adventure which is 2 hours and 28 minutes, an extra 10 minutes longer than the last one, and, 2 years after the last one as well. It is a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb and a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. You can watch this on Disney+, Google Play, YouTube, and also Amazon Prime. When the collective government decides to ratify the Sokovia Accords, a legal document that regulates superhuman activity, it leads to a discourse between Captain America and Iron Man. What's poppin', y'all? The story goes like this. Iron Man isn't around. We have Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, Falcon, and Captain America doing a covert operation, doing superhero work around wherever they are, I don't know, and they're hunting down Crossbones, I think he's called Crossbones, who's sort of moving around tech. They go in, they fight, they cause a load of chaos, they get called in, all the superheroes get called in. We have Iron Man, and we have Ant-Man, and we have Hawkeye, and we have War Machine, all called into this room. Even Vision's here, for the government to be like, hey, you can't go into battle without us saying so, because you just cause chaos and too much trouble, we can't have you being a vigilante anymore. Half of them agree, half of them don't agree, and, Bucky appears, and he starts causing chaos because someone's mind-controlling him again, as usual. He then kills the King of Wakanda, which then turns Black Panther in a murderous spree, going after him, hunting him down. So Captain America is going to save Bucky, fighting off Iron Man and Black Widow, trying to save Bucky, fighting alongside Falcon, and avoiding War Machine to try and get to Bucky to get him out of there, whilst also being hunted down by the Black Panther. They then try and go to the place that Baron Zemo is hiding out in, Antarctica, and, to get there, they need to go to the airport, and they have a big fight in the airport, because, Captain America needs to get to the airport and get a plane and fly away. Iron Man ain't gonna allow him to do that, so he hires Spider-Man, a 16-year-old, to take down Captain America with the other members of his team, whereas Captain America has assembled his own little team. So they have an airport battle, superhero v superhero. Everyone gets hurt, everyone gets injured. War Machine almost fucking dies. To be fair, I thought he died. Didn't cry, didn't care about War Machine to begin with. He's just Iron Man with extra guns. We then have, Black Widow sort of letting them through, which I think is weird, and stopping Black Panther from getting to Bucky. We then have Iron Man following them and teaming up with them to fight against them again, and then Baron Zemo gets away, and so does Bucky and Captain America. And that's pretty much where the movie ends. Not much else happens after that. It just ends with Captain America and Bucky on the run. Cool. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember MCU-wise what actually happened to the Sokovia Accord after this movie. It seems like we forgot about it because no one else ever gets permission to do anything. We never see them get permission to fight Thanos when Thanos comes down. We never see them get permission to do anything. It just kind of happens. And I don't remember them having to ask permission to fight on the Avengers campus grounds when Thanos comes down to kill them. I don't remember them asking permission to do anything since this movie. So I feel like that's a major plot hole. I feel like that's a major sort of issue. And Bucky being mind controlled again is kind of lazy, is kind of boring. He was just turning good. He was just trying to be a normal human boy. He was just trying to be okay again. He was just trying to live on with his life and live a normal life. But all that gets turned upside down because he gets mind controlled so easily. And I do feel bad for the guy, not gonna lie. I do feel bad for him. And I just think it's boring having him mind controlled again by like a ex-member of Hydra. I feel like that's just kind of lazy and could have been done a little bit better, and not have him be like mind controlled again. I don't know, I just felt like he was kind of lazy, but it was like the core founding points of the movie, and it did solidify their friendship. And again, like I said yesterday, it solidifies Captain America as a human, sticking by his friends and doing what's right rather than what's legal. He's following his heart and his moral compass. He is, again, being a goody two-shoes, but he's not being like overly good. He's still breaking the law and doing bad things, but he's doing it for a good reason. It's that fine line, it's that grey area between good and evil, doing it for doing what's right, even though it's illegal, you know? This is also Spider-Man's first appearance. I was, fucking gassed when he appeared first time in cinema, and I was gonna be honest, I wasn't too excited about Tom Holland playing Spider-Man. My tune has now changed. I absolutely adore Spider-Man, and it was so fucking sick to see him in this movie. Was upset that he was on Team Iron Man, because Iron Man's shit, and it did just lead to him getting a full-fledged Iron Man story, like Iron Man Jr., which I don't appreciate, because again, it continues with my thoughts yesterday, making him techie. It's just techie. They're all going techie. None of them are real superheroes. They're all just techie, and I don't like that. I feel like the MCU is over-techifying everything and just making everything techie and tech this, tech that. But his quips were on point. He was very good. He was comedic. He was on point. He had the timing, and he had like the charisma and the sort of like bouncy effect, like he was able to bounce off everyone really well, and he just fit the part really nicely, I'm gonna be honest. Bucky and Falcon teaming up for the first time here was also really fucking cool. Like, this is the first time we've ever seen them team up together on screen, and it went really hard, and I can see why we got a movie after this, because their sort of chemistry together is really good. It's like the love-hate relationship. Like, they're friends, but they're like, don't like each other. Crossbones, I thought, was a little bit of a boring superhero, but he did set up the entire movie. I feel like he was important, and getting us straight in with the action was a really strong opener, because starting us off with this action, this big disaster, it really sets us in the mood and sets the tone of the rest of the movie, with obviously the Sokovia Accord and how they just caused chaos and destruction. It is a really solid opener and works really well in terms of the rest of the movie. Just having that big grand sort of action sequence and the heroes doing stuff on their own with no government support, and how wrong it can go if something does go wrong. However, I don't actually know why the government would want responsibility over these guys, because if it does go tits up like it normally does, that then reflects negatively on the government and not the superheroes. So technically, they're trying to shift blame to the government, which I don't like, for one thing. Because I don't know, I feel like the government are stupid in this aspect, and that's why I don't care if the government take blame. I genuinely can't give a shit. It'll be the first time the government ever take blame for anything. But it's like, why would they do that to themselves? Why are they putting themselves in that position? Instead of just blaming the superheroes, why are they then like trying to take the blame? I don't understand. I don't understand the thought process here. I just don't get it. Trying to sort of keep them regulated by saying when and where they can go and how they do things doesn't mean that it's going to work out. Your plan might still go tits up, and I feel like that is just going to reflect badly on them. The action sequences, like I said, impeccable. They all have meaning, and it all sort of builds hype. We have Iron Man and Captain America building up a team, and we see the conflict start to rise, not just only with Iron Man and Captain America, but with Scarlet Witch and Vision. It starts to build up with the other characters in the group, and it slowly builds that tension till it comes to that boiling point at the fight on the sort of airport, which again is really cool. The airport fight again is just a fuck ton of CGI. We do have Giant Men, we have War Machine, we have Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, all of it is just CGI. There is very little actual acting going on there, and very little actual sort of stuff taking place. I'm gonna be honest, I do feel like Captain America's team is more humanized and more grounded compared to Iron Man's team. I feel like the Captain America's team is more human, just because they have Scott Lang and Hawkeye, which are two just normal dudes, whereas Iron Man and the rest of them are like quite super. I hate saying Iron Man is a super, but you know, they're a little bit more special. They're less like relatable. I don't find like Iron Man, War Machine, Vision, or like Black Panther too relatable as characters. What I do relate to is like Hawkeye and like Ant-Man. They're two family men. They're just two normal guys who have like jobs, children, wives, kids, husbands, stuff back at home that they have going for them, whereas the others don't. Like Black Panther, he's a prince. Iron Man, he's a rich billionaire. Like Spider-Man, you know what, I connect with Spider-Man, but he wasn't in the point. And Vision's a robot. I just feel like Team Iron Man was really techie and really sort of hard to relate to. And the whole movie was trying to put you on Team Captain America, but this movie really divided Marvel fans, and that's what I liked about it, because it built hype by dividing people. It built hype by making people fight and talk about it online about who's going to win. It is called a Captain America movie, so of course Captain America was going to win, and I had no fucking shadow of a doubt that Captain America was going to win. I do feel like this one doesn't have as much rewatchability as the other one because of the surprise cameos that come in, like the surprise Spider-Man when he comes in with his webs. Again, I don't think like the surprise or the sort of, you know, the shock of him appearing is going to hit as hard watching it like a third, fourth, fifth time round, but I do still think it was a really cool movie. Still does deserve the sort of 7 out of 10, and is still one of my favorite Marvel movies, and again is one of the movies that got me into Marvel and got me hyped for the rest of the MCU. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next one. Hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye.